don't want to start you on conspiracies, but what occurs to me right now is I want to know your thoughts, if you can, briefly, on COVID. Is COVID related to alien phenomenon in some way, whether through vaccinations or through the spreading of the disease? Okay, then also, was Trump
Look, I don't want to
reelected?
get. I've heard everything, and I've heard them from people much smarter than me, and I've heard all different opinions from people who are much smarter than me, and I just don't know what I want to think about that right now. I will say that the response to COVID has been criminal and draconian and anti-human, and I personally do not believe in the lockdowns. I've never believed in the lockdowns. I don't believe in destroying your society by economic suicide, by running, 50% of the businesses in America that have closed are probably never going to reopen. And I think the psychological damage, especially to young people with the masking and the distancing, I think is criminal. And I think the day will come, maybe one day, when we get some sanity back in our world, when we look back at the criminality against people in this world by treating them the way we've treated them. And I think that the response to COVID has sped up our descent into what I've often been calling the fourth stage of humanity, which I wrote about in my last book, The Alien Agendas. And simply speaking, I think what we're moving into is a new fundamental form of human organization in which, you look at all the technology we've got. So you got coming AI, singularity, if that's even the word we want to use for it. Sometimes that's not the best word. But anyway, very advanced, strong AI, generative AI that can think for itself. Genetic modification, CRISPR technology, all of that, designer babies. 5G, 6G, 24/7 surveillance through smart devices that will give you zero privacy, and you'll have none for the rest of all time, and your grandchildren won't have any. So we're going to turn humanity into big giant anthill. That's really what I think is happening. I really believe that. Like, think of China's social credit system, and with all, if you jaywalk there, that dings you on your ability sometimes to get a loan, much less if you speak out against the government. And they facial wreck everyone, and they probably voice wreck everyone there. So we're probably a decade behind, realistically. We're already partially there, like through big tech. We don't have formal implementation yet of a social credit system, but it's coming. That's coming. So maybe 10 years down the road. But anyway, so we're doing all of this. And COVID, the lockdown response to COVID, the draconian legal measures that have been taken against people for this are criminally anti-human. And they are accelerating. This is my opinion. I'm sure people are out there saying, F you to what I'm saying. But this is my opinion. And I believe that it's a criminally anti-human, global, coordinated effort to break this society in the form that it has been and to create a new society. Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I believe. So whether it's by design as a pandemic or not, my opinion has always been that it probably escaped from the Wuhan lab. I thought that right out of the gate. And for over a year, of course, it was almost illegal even to say that publicly. You say that publicly, they take you down. And then Jon Stewart says it on Colbert, and suddenly, it's okay to say it now. But the fact is that, yes, it always seemed logical. How could it not be logical? They're working on the exact virus right there. Their patents on coronavirus. It's not an unknown thing. But anyway, whether it was intentionally released or not, I don't know, and I can't know. It could have accidentally gotten out, sure. Accidents do happen. Hey, Elvis Costello told us that many years ago. All right, bad joke. But anyway, I think it could have happened, and accidentally. It could have been an accidental leak. Could have been an intentional leak. I don't know. But I think it probably came out of a lab.
Okay, last question. And then while you're answering, I'm going to quickly turn off my video and audio so my wife can go in the background and leave, and then I'll turn it right back on. She's just been waiting there for quite some time.
Very patient.
Suppo-
You obviously
yes.
have a wonderful wife.
Yeah, I do.